In the previous session, we have studied the function overloading. In this session, we study the operator overloading. We have already seen the demonstration of this concept in the beginning of this chapter. We have seen insertion operators and extraction operators. We know that less than operator means bitwise left shift operator. But in C++, whenever this operator appear along with cout object, its behavior is different. And the name of this operator is insertion operator. This means the C++ has overloaded this bitwise left shift operator. Is it clear? In this session, I will teach you how to do this operator overloading. I have divided this program into two parts. In the first part, I will introduce you how to create complex numbers. We know that in mathematics, a plus ib, this is a complex number. So I will show you how to create complex numbers using the concept of structure. After that, I will show you how to read those complex numbers, how to initialize those complex numbers, and after that, how to display the complex number. In second part, I will show you the actual overloading. That is, while adding two complex numbers, I will use plus sign, and that plus sign I will overload. What is the meaning of overloading? Overloading means without changing the basic meaning of the operator, will assign a different meaning to it. Is it clear to you? In this program, I define a structure, namely complex. There are two members of this structure, namely real and img. Both are integer type. We know the complex number which we have studied in the 10th class. That is a plus ib. This is a complex number. A is a real part while b is the imaginary part, and that is why I define the structure, namely complex, like this. If you want to see the diagram, this is your structure, namely complex, in which there are two members, real and img. Is it clear? Well, after this, I declare two functions, read and display. Observe carefully. In the function read, I am passing two values, two arguments, both are integer type, and this function will return a structure variable of complex type. Is it clear? The second function, namely display, in this function the argument is complex type. This means we are passing a structure variable of complex type as an argument to the function display, and this function display will return nothing. That is why I said void. Is it clear? Now observe the programming part, main program. The first statement, that is complex x. This statement is creating a structure variable, namely x. You see this diagram. Complex x, this statement is creating a structure variable, namely x, in which there are two members, real and img. Is it clear? Well, now observe the next statement, which is very important. We have initialized the structure variable x using the function read. We have passed the values 1 and 3 as an argument to the function read. So these values are passed to the function, namely read. Observe the next part. 1 will be copied to the parameter a1 and 3 will be copied to the parameter a2. After that, inside the function read, we have created one more structure variable, namely t. So t is a second structure variable which we have created using definition of the structure, namely complex. Then we have assigned t dot real, that is first member of this structure variable t. We assign a value of a1. So which value we assign? 1, and that is why in the diagram I have shown real is equal to 1. Observe this statement, t.img. So this is second member of the structure variable t. I assign the content of A2 to it. What is the content of A2? 3, and that is why I have shown in the diagram img is equal to 3. Is it clear? So inside this function we have created a structure variable t and we have initialized the members of this structure variable. After that, this return statement, return t, will return this structure variable to the calling function. So this structure variable t will be returned to the calling function. So it will appear over here. And hence this statement will become x is equal to t. This means we have assigned the content of t to the structure variable x. This part is clear to you? So after executing this statement, our structure variable x is initialized by value 1 and 3. So content of x will become real is equal to 1 and img is equal to 3. Is it clear? After that I am calling the function display. I have passed x as an argument. What is x? Is a structure variable. So moment I call this function, the content of x will be copied to structure variable d. So again I have created a third structure variable, namely d, and I have copied the content of x to d. This is passed by value, and that is why this will happen. After that, using cout statement will display the members, the content of the members of the structure variable d. Is it clear to you? Now let us compile this program. It is up to date. Press Ctrl F9 and see the output. 1 plus I3 is displayed. It's a complex number. 1 is the real part of the complex number and 3 is the imaginary part of this complex number. Is it clear to you? Let's study the second part of this program. Observe carefully the changes. What is the job of the second program? Here we'll see how to add two complex numbers using plus operator. This means we'll overload this plus operator. We'll do this job using this function. Observe carefully. Here name of the function is missing. Instead of name of the function, we have written plus sign. So this means we are overloading the plus operator. Before this one, we have used one keyword, namely operator. This is a way how we should overload the plus operator. The arguments of this function are two structure variables, k1 and k2. They are of complex type. And return value of this function is again a structure variable of complex type. Is it clear to you? Let us see the function main. Observe very carefully. I have declared three structure variables x, y and z. I have called the function read two times to initialize structure variable x and structure variable y. Is it clear? Now we know the working of this function. After that, we are adding the structure variable x and structure variable y using plus operator. Basically, plus operator cannot do this job in C language. But in C++ language, we have written a function for operator overloading. We have given additional meaning to this plus operator, and hence this plus operator is overloaded, and now it can add these two complex numbers. After that, we'll display the content of x, y and z. So let us execute the program up to this step. Just press F7 key. The control will jump to the function which we have written for overloading. You see, this is the function for overloading plus operator. The control has jumped to this place. What we have called actually? z is equal to x plus y. So which structure variables are copied over here? X is copied to k1 and y is copied to k2. We have used pass by value, and that is why content of your x is copied to the k1 and content of y is copied to the k2. Now let's see the next part. Again I have created here another structure variable, namely t. It is of complex type, and then I initialize this structure variable t. Let's see how I initialize it. The t.real is the first member of structure variable t. To this member I have assigned the real part of k1 and k2 structure variable. So real part of both the structure variables k1 and k2, which is nothing but x and y, are added over here. Is it clear to you? What I've done, I'll repeat this process. K1 means x and k2 means y, and that is why real part of k1 means real part of x and real part of k2 means real part of y. These two we have added and we are assigned to the t.real. Is it clear? Similarly for imaginary part. And after that we have written this object, this structure variable, namely t. The return value will be assigned to whom? To the structure variable z, and that is why content of z is nothing but addition of real part and addition of imaginary parts of these two structure variables. Let us execute the function up to this one and see the output. This is a structure variable x, this structure variable y, and this is your structure variable z. So first complex number is 1 plus i3, second complex number is 2 plus i4, and third complex number is 3 plus i7. 2 plus 1 is 3 and 4 plus 3 is equal to 7, and that is why after adding this two complex number using plus operator we got third complex number. So is it clear how to overload the plus operator for adding two complex numbers?